Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready. I couldn't imagine. I love music, especially loud music. For some reason, so much more seizures than what I'm having. Okay, so moving forward, something says, I know there's no ill intent, but it still hurts. My best friend inadvertently chose her able-bodied friends over me. We were supposed to go to an event at the end of the month in a big group, and I was going to be chipping in for gas. She joined a sport, and they will be having a booth at the event we were supposed to go to. She dropped a bombshell on me this morning. She will be giving my tickets to her friend and his two kids as the rest of our original group dissolved. Another thing she told me this morning, and she will be working the booth for the sport she joined the day we were originally supposed to go. I have tickets for the next day of the event, but I was originally going to give those to another friend in the group so I could go the first day with a collective group. It's a big deal for me to hang out with people in groups because normally no one wants to ever hang out due to me being my epileptic self. I'm probably stuck going with my mom to the event now, which I don't want to do, but will, if only for seeing what I want there. Part of me thinks I don't have the right to be hurt by but another part of me is hurting. Anyone else go through this? Support would be nice. Anybody feel left out because of their epilepsy, basically, she's saying? I know I'm not the only one who feels left out because
I think we all do at some point.
We all do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what she's getting at. Left out is hard to.
It comes with the territory.
Yeah, I was going to say there's not much we can do. You don't want to beg for someone's attention, so.
And nobody wants to be a babysitter.
Right, heard that. Oh my, maybe I'm not the only one.
And they want to yell at you for doing stuff alone.
Yeah. Any of you guys have any situations where you feel left out? Maybe someone changed plans on you like this?
I used to hang out with a group of friends, and it took me a little bit to realize, like, one friend would go on a vacation and then I wouldn't see the other friend. And then I learned that they were like taking like we were a group of 3, and so the other 2 would go on vacations together. And I was never invited. So I brought it up to them like straight up, and there was a lot of defensiveness. So I guess I don't have really good advice, but they didn't want to look after me. And that was the reason.
That's when you say, fuck those friends.
Yeah. Let's try to avoid people who make me feel left out. My peace is in my room at my desk, editing videos or talking to you guys. That's pretty much fun. I love just being in peace with myself. Hey, Rick. Icebreaker today is something you do to make yourself feel better when you feel like shit.
Take a nap. All right. So what I do. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the first part again?
Something you do to make yourself feel better when you feel like shit.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So definitely take a nap. Another thing is join this podcast. Another thing is listening to music. I'm a big music person. Mark, I really appreciate that you have your guitar there. And I, really big on listening to music. I listen to sounds, and I wonder why they chose certain sounds at certain volumes and adding instruments in. And also reading about any type of stories or things behind songs. So that's what I immerse myself into.
So something else to move forward. I'm terrified of dying. I've been under a lot of stress lately as my mom just passed away, and because of that, I've been having more seizures. I recently had a seizure in my sleep, and my brother and his girlfriend found me and took care of me. I was insanely lucky. They just happened to be home and awake. But I'm scared I'm going to have a seizure while sleeping one of these days and not wake up. Is it wrong to be terrified? No.
Not wrong, but it's not necessary.
Thoughts for this person, you guys?
I would say reasonably, you always, yeah, you can be afraid, but always know that things like SUDEP are extremely rare. It is. I mean, statistically, SUDEP is rare. I mean,
It can happen to anyone, and if it's time, it's time. But you got to live your life. You can't be afraid to live, you know?
What are
Yeah,
you
we all
upset?
get afraid of dying. And I hate to speak for everybody else, but you know, I know there's been times where I've been afraid of dying.
just have bigger fears. That's all.
Yeah.
You know,
And you want to control that fear because that fear brings stress. And with the stress brings the threshold of your seizures. So,
I don't have a fear of dying.
Me either.
yeah.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
I've never had a fear of dying, I guess. I've never been afraid of it.
If it happens, it happens.
I mean, it
I've
happens.
always doubted
It just
that I could die during a seizure. Like me personally, I don't put myself in positions where I could hurt myself that bad.
I mean, if I died during a seizure, that's probably like the best way for me to go out. I mean, it sounds painless.
Yeah.
Easy.
I used to be more afraid of dying before I got diagnosed than after.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
never
I
afraid of
think I was too. I think it almost brought me like a sense of comfort.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I could die at any moment. I mean, statistics are statistics. I could be a statistic, but that just gives me more of a reason to be who I am. But I think for people that maybe have children or family ties or something where they feel very connected to the earth, physically here in a sense, then I could see why it would be more of a fear for them. As for me, it wouldn't be one because I don't have any offspring. So,
I mean, I have 2 kids and
yeah.
it's weird. I had a lot more fears before. I was like a major hypochondriac. Um, I used to be deathly terrified of throwing up. I was always having existential thoughts about losing my life and stuff. And then epilepsy happened, and all of a sudden, it was just gone. I don't know why, but I feel way more at peace now than I used to.
I don't know. Maybe I've never had a fear of like dying necessarily. And I think when I got the epilepsy diagnosis, I was like, hey, look, a cat. I think I was like, um, cool.
Yeah.
If this takes me out, then no one can blame me for anything. And if this takes me out earlier than having to live through a long life of pain in the end, then that would be fabulous. I mean, not to be morbid, but I see people who are older, and I just don't really want to do it. I think I'm good. Right now, I'm saying that though. So
Yeah, I love living. I just don't want to get to the point where I need someone to change my diapers.
yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah, that's agreed.
I don't want to
Yeah,
go
I
through
don't want to
that.
forget who I am or stuff like that. I don't want to forget the important memories of what made me me. You know?
Yeah, I don't want to be someone have to clean up my drool. I can't pick up my lips or change my diaper and all that. That's where I give up. But yeah, I'm just praying I don't go through that, or don't have a seizure where I end up in that position where I need someone to change my diaper or clean up my drool
I mean,
or
that's
something.
kind of like myoclonic epilepsy in a sense. Like when it gets really bad and it comes on these clusters, and it won't stop. That's exactly what it's like my mom having to bathe me, having to walk me to the toilet, having to uh, feed me, brush my teeth, give me water, everything. It's completely debilitating. And it's like when I was going through that, especially, and they weren't listening to me, that's around the time that I was like, I kind of feel like a really old person right now, and I just want to die because I feel like I'm on my deathbed. Like, I know I'm not dying, but like, this isn't fun, and it's not fun. It's especially for not for anyone, it's not fun for anyone, but to be 20 and to feel like you're 80 years old on your deathbed in a nursing home and having your mom take care, it's depressing. It's depressing to anyone with a chronic illness. It's
Yeah,
depressing.
having to be carried, and every time I have a
Mhm.
cluster, I've
Well, and
soaked myself into my drool
yeah,
or
or
my
if you pee
pee.
yourself, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
and
it's like if you say that to people, they're like, "It was just a seizure." And what do you mean, like it was just a seizure? Like you obviously don't Mark said. It was Mark. It's a epilepsy is an umbrella term. There's so much more that goes underneath it that people don't realize. Like that is what leads to the part of it being so debilitating. Because even when I was younger, I didn't understand epilepsy that much, and I thought it was just like a seizure, and then you go on with your day. You go on with your life. It doesn't happen like all the time, or it's just like one seizure every couple of months. You just got to be careful, and then you're medicated and you're good. That's what was drilled into my head until I started like experiencing it. And then when I was diagnosed was when I really did my research, and I was like, holy shit, this is like so misunderstood. Like I feel more misunderstood in my epilepsy than I do in my autism. And that's saying something. So it's a very there's so many niche categories underneath epilepsy.
there's more to it than just shaking for a couple
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah, it's not just shaking and foaming at the mouth. It's
Like
everything.
your entire body. Just
Yeah, and then there's different types of it. There's different. There's
and
the.
then the meds too.
Yep.
Can't forget the
That,
meds. Yep.
yep. That's the part that people really don't understand. Is like
Yeah.
because I'm medicated doesn't mean I'm happy. Doesn't mean everything is wonderful. I mean, maybe it
Comes
would
with its
be
own damn
better.
symptoms.
but maybe it makes you feel better that I'm not having seizures and stuff. But now I'm at risk of harming myself. So where are we really with this? Because obviously there's something missing here, and I'm not a fan of antipsychotics or antidepressants. I'm not doing that. Um, so we're gonna have to figure something out that's not, because I don't want to live like this. Like I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
nobody wants this, and to be afraid of dying from it is,
That's like the least thing that I'm.
yeah, like the least of our concerns with
Yeah,
everything else.
that's like when all the concerns just end. Honestly,
Yeah.
not to be.
It is morbid, but I think
It,
that's just how we work at this
it
point.
it's just like the fact of it is just like, well, at least at that point, I'm not worrying about my meds and stuff.
Not a burden anymore.
Yay!
Some people say the greatest motivators, two basic motivators of all humans are death and love, Eros and Thanatos. So
And food.
people are afraid of, all humans are afraid of death. It's what motivates them to do things. And the other half is love or the need to procreate. Maybe you could interpret it that way. Or so, I mean, how do you see it that way?
I think I'm more afraid of my husband dying than I am of myself. That makes sense. I guess that would
Yeah.
be considered the love aspect of it.
Yeah, I think that's the same with me. I'm more afraid of losing people around me than I am myself. Like death doesn't really cross my mind. Um,
Mm.
Even when I have seizures, I'm not thinking, "Oh, I could have died." That's just something in the back of your mind. It comes every now and then, but I love living. That's why I try not to um, do things to put myself in harm's way, or yeah, pass those days of thinking about doing the worst to myself.
All right.
Mark, did you have something?
Just that I'm afraid of dying, but um not a fear um for myself, not of my own existence stopping. I am afraid of dying for before my parents die. I know um how much that would impact them. You know, my family would would feel my loss more I than I think I fear my own end. Um and I don't want that for them. Um and yeah, a parent shouldn't have to bury their child, I think.
Right.
Um And so, yeah, especially now with the epilepsy, they've been incredibly supportive. Um, and my mother has been helping me out with all of my appointments. She's been driving me to and from them and helping remember things that have been said, little details in and out of the appointments. So, yeah, I think that, yeah, in a sense, I do fear death, but not in the sense that I think it was meant when the question was posed, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. I was thinking ahead. But yeah, like you said, I worry about how it's going to affect other people because I don't necessarily think. I think I got a lot of time on my hands left, but it's just a thought. We got something we can go around and answer this one. Radical acceptance. Does anyone practice radical acceptance of their epilepsy, especially if you have focal aware seizures? The only medicine that completely took away my auras and seizures was lamotrigine, but unfortunately, I got a rash and had to stop. Now I'm curious how everyone just goes about normal lives with their seizures. They feel like very short panic attacks for me. I'm curious what coping methods everyone uses in order to keep working or being independent. For me, independence is gone, working is gone, that stuff is out the window. Yeah. How do you guys deal with radical acceptance of your epilepsy? Brandon?
I guess I don't know. I just did. I just sort of went. There's there's nothing I can do about this except avoid my triggers and get on with my life. I just sort of did the acceptance part pretty, or I that's how I do it now. Obviously, when it first happens, it, you don't feel that way. It's the different feelings then. But yeah, nowadays it's just sort of like, yeah, it's just who I am.
Kevin? Oh, we can go to Rick while Kevin's eating.
All right. Well, I think everybody's well aware. I practice radical acceptance. I wear a bracelet. I have everybody around me at work knows. Maybe they get tired of hearing about it. Nice bracelet there, Pookie. And I make sure if I'm going to be in an area where my wife or other people that know about my epilepsy aren't there, I make sure to advertise it. So that's my radical acceptance is, I advertise it quite a bit.
Yeah, like Rick, I have my bracelet and Pookie. I always carry my nasalum with me, and I tell people about it. I go pretty much with people who already know how to handle my epilepsy. I still have my life. My epilepsy at this point, 28 years living with it, it's a part of me. It's a part of my identity. So it's great. I'm not going to say it's great, but it's it's nothing I can do. Like, you know, I'm not. It's not going anywhere. I know it's going to stay there for the rest of my life, and I'm okay with it.
Jocelyn, you
Hi.
were you were like right after we asked the question. How do you deal with radical acceptance of your epilepsy? How did you
Um,
come to terms?
oh, how did I come to terms with it? Well, I mean,
I guess I just accepted it. I mean, I was going through the CSF leak too, and I was just so happy with a diagnosis in general of what I was going through. I mean, honestly, like it didn't take much for me to accept it because the stuff leaking out of my nose, I knew what that was because of TikTok. And then the epilepsy diagnosis came later, and I honestly wasn't surprised because I had looked it up online, and so I guess it just it didn't take radical acceptance. I'm sorry.
The denial was forced out.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going through so much. I think I just wanted an answer. I think that's what it was. And I think the reality is I don't have it as bad as all of you guys do. I've only had 3 floppy fish seizures. The fall on the floor. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun of it. I've only had 3 drop down pass out seizures. I did have um twice a week seizures where I sat there and watched my brain malfunction. I thought it was marijuana. I didn't know it was seizures. So I was just like witnessing my brain malfunction going, what kind of marijuana am I vaping? And I didn't know it was seizures. I thought it was the marijuana. And I didn't tell, I was telling people about it, like my mom, and then finally I was like, oh, that's not the marijuana when I couldn't get any words out of my mouth. And then I told the doctor, and then I was like, is this menopause? And she's like, no, that's not menopause. So I'm just an idiot. I mean, I'm not an idiot, but I just ignore stuff. So that's just the truth. And then after like 6 months of the watch my brain malfunction, I then had a fall on the floor, pass out seizure, and someone witnessed it and they took me in an ambulance to the hospital. And then the neurologist just thought I was fat. Well, I am fat, but the neurologist was an idiot. She talked to me about weight loss before she talked to me about seizures. So I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent again. I do that.
Yeah. Pretty much to accept it and cope with it. I just accept it. I have it. It's not going anywhere. I've done all the research I can on it. Do this. It just helps me accept it, laughing, making jokes, smiling about it, knowing about life. If I didn't accept it, I'd probably be doing worse and having the worst thoughts. But we'll move to Angel. Wait, Angel, I think you answered, didn't you?
Yeah, I answered it already.
Let's see who has it. Kevin, it's your turn. Coming back around.
I'm not sure what radical acceptance is, but I just guess because it took me a really long time to actually accept it. I didn't, I didn't cooperate with doctors and everything. I guess that's what it took to accept it in the first place. But hit rock bottom and had the surgery and everything. A compromise is that's my radical acceptance is just making compromises. That I think you have to make compromises every day in life, not just with epilepsy, but with everything. Just because you're not going to get everything you want, and uh, you just do what you can to be happy. I try to eat well and do things. So yeah, just you got to compromise things for your health. And I guess that's my radical acceptance.
Lufa?
What was the question?
Does anyone practice radical acceptance of their epilepsy, especially if you have focal aware seizures? The only medicine that took away my auras completely in seizures was lamotrigine, but unfortunately I got a rash and had to stop it. Now I'm curious how everybody just goes about normal lives with it. They feel like a short panic attack for me. I'm curious what coping methods everyone uses in order to keep working or being independent. I just don't think about it, just go about life. If you let it hold you back, it will. It for sure will. But you gotta. Jeff told me put one foot in front of the other. Move forward.
Oh shit. Well, I had some unfortunate news that I'm back on the waiting list for the Epilepsy Foundation because I didn't respond fast enough. So that's my fault, but that's also me getting in control of my own medical life too. So it's a nice little wake up call. Like, get your shit together, but it kind of sucks because I needed that. But it's okay. Hopefully I don't have to wait too long. But for me, I don't know, I guess I think I'm more struggling with the part of other people accepting it. Like, I can accept it, but I'm having a hard time accepting it if other people aren't accepting it around me. And it's frustrating. So it makes me not want to accept it. But I want to accept it. You know, I want to just, because I know it doesn't have to be a burden the way that others make it feel to be. Um, but I mean, my whole life has kind of been just if it's not one thing, it's another. So I'm kind of used to it. I mean, I'm lucky to get a diagnosis. So, um, yeah, I don't know.
Sia, Rose.
Um,
Go ahead, you do it.
so some background on radical acceptance because I'm a therapist. So what's interesting is radical acceptance is a DBT concept, dialectical behavior therapy. And it all comes from kind of the thought that if we're unable to accept things that are out of our control, um, it keeps our suffering going. And then when we accept the things that are within our control, it reduces the suffering. So just some fun facts on that. But it's interesting because I fought so hard for my epilepsy diagnosis. So there was kind of that acceptance that I already knew that something was wrong with me. But I think where I don't have acceptance is how I got here. You know, everything that it took to get that diagnosis. Um, and I think that maybe I don't accept it. Like I know there's something wrong with me, but because of all the trauma and the things that I had to go through just to get this diagnosis, if I feel anything that feels like a seizure, I do try to fight it. Not like you can, but yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but I accept that there's something wrong with me, but I don't accept how I got the diagnosis.
We got Sia and Jeff, Brandon.
I think uh it took me a long time to get to the point where I was able to Brandon, what are you doing?
Oh, sorry. Hang on.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard, but that was good music. But I think it took me a while to get to the point where I accepted saying that I had epilepsy. Um, I didn't even start saying it until just recently, even though I've been on the medications for this long now. But I think in other aspects of it, I'm very much similar to a few others who have already spoken, as to where like I already knew that my life was going the way it was, and I was just kind of ready for the next shoe to drop. And then it did. And then when it did, I was just like, okay, I guess that's where we're at now. Now to figure out how to continue going forward. So I guess in a sense, yeah, part of it was radical acceptance, and part of it is still I'm struggling to admit to myself, or to people who don't understand still, like my family, um, that I have it. So some people don't even realize that I have it, but I just have kept it to a very specific few people who know.
We got Ann, Jeff, Brandon.
Ladies first.
I think she begged to differ.
Okay. As I said earlier, I had a really hard time for the first probably 8 or 9 months. And now, it's part of who I am. And and I really knew nothing about it until I found you and this group, and I'm learning slowly, but still, it's who I am, and I don't worry about it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Brandon.
Sorry, I just sent a message to the chat because I'm about to go make dinner, but I was the first person to go, so I already answered.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And in response to the funny music, sorry about that. My girlfriend's watching the Aristocats, and it was at the scene where they're walking with the geese.
I knew I recognized that
Yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah. All right, I'll be back in like I'll be on and off for like the next 10 minutes. I'm making dinner. Sorry.
No problem. Um, so I think we got everybody. Wait, Ann, you there still? Or you sleep?
He might be asleep. He took some lorazepam.
What? To the next one. Oh. You are more than your epilepsy, I was told. How do you guys convince yourself of this? My therapist recently told me that basically I need to convince myself that I am more than my epilepsy. It's gotten worse over the past year and it affects my everyday life. I know my self-esteem. I know my self-esteem is in the dumps, but I just can't get out of this funk. She suggested volunteering until I can secure a job so I get out of the house and talk to people. Also exercise. It just sucks that I do feel like my epilepsy controls me. How do you guys keep your self-esteem up and believe that you are more than your epilepsy? Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I've got more than epilepsy. Um, I don't know. The self-esteem part is hard. Um, I don't know. Coming to these meetings has really helped a lot. The um uh just talking to you guys on the Zoom has been um
Yeah,
helpful. My family have commented, they've noted an improvement in my mood. They said I seem less depressed. So um I don't know. There's value to talking to people. And I think that specifically people with experiences that are similar to yours, when it's something so specific, um, yeah. Thanks, Pookie.
no problem. Do it for myself as well. Also, yeah, just a part of helping me understand it and help me like be more myself is like I never knew anyone with epilepsy, and it's so much more comfortable now that I know people. Like, not saying that I felt like I was in this alone, but you guys know what I mean. Like, I thought the world knew nothing about epilepsy. Maybe it was just me. Like, never met anyone with it. Like, even at the neurologist's office, everyone's there for different stuff. I've never met anyone in person, except for you guys, that has epilepsy. So that helped accepting it as well. Like, I'm not in this alone. I knew that, but it feels better knowing those people and they feel like I feel. And like you said, Mark, this year, yeah, it's a big part of me now. Um, Looking forward to this helps me as well. Um, yeah, and usually the day after I feel pretty good until someone says something. I usually feel good after this until there's that moment where I'm like, damn it, I was feeling good, man. Why'd you say that? Just walk away from that. But yeah, usually my Saturdays are good. And I'll find that one person that ends up ruining the vibe that I felt from leaving here, or the morning before I get here, I'm walking around listening to music. I'm excited. I'm happy at everything. Yeah, that's what this does for me. Talking to people, being able to talk to people. Um, Thought I was the only one on earth who really cared about epilepsy. And I started to give up on caring about it because I was just like, hey, nobody else is going through this. Nobody else is talking about the struggle. Yeah. So when I was getting ready to start a podcast, it was not about this at first. And then it's like, oh, I can change who I want to talk to about this. Because at first there was talking to people who like did music and stuff. I was into doing that. Let's talk to people who are doing music and let them interview them or whatever. But this got way more interesting when I found out, like I said, I'm not the only one. And yeah, other people complain, not just me. And I learned that my complaining isn't, I'm not gonna say isn't a bother, because still got those who feel like make you feel like it is a bother. But I guess we can complain together, so I don't feel like I'm whining. You know what I mean? Talking to other people, I feel like I'm gotta cry to you to get you to understand. Uh, yeah, you guys, I
It
don't have
makes me
to.
feel like you're like overdoing it, like you're over exaggerating or something. That's how other people make you feel, and you're like, am I over exaggerating? Am I just whining or?
Right.
Venting and
But
good.
it's venting. At the end of the day, we're venting about real struggles that we go to, and it's not whining. And the reason that they feel like we're whining is because they don't experience these everyday struggles, and because, I mean, for me, the only person I can really whine to before this was my mom. And I think just naturally because people some people are older, or it's my mom or whatever. The people that I've been surrounded by are older. They're like, you have no idea what's coming, and I'm sure I don't, but I got a pretty good idea at the age that I'm at with the conditions that I have. That you just don't want to admit it, that I can empathize with your pain, and for some reason you don't want me to empathize with it. But that's okay. If you want to be alone in it, you go be alone. It's only you, Betty. It's only you, girl. Don't worry. But I think that the group is a very good structure too for us. In my opinion, at least, it gives me some structure to.
Yeah, it's given me something to look forward to doing.
Yeah, and to kind
So,
of still keep my epilepsy relevant in my mind while not making it something that's negative necessarily.
right. Let's say, I wasn't looking forward to a lot of things before this. It was just like I'm just kind of living. Does that make sense? I really had nothing to look forward to. Tomorrow I'm gonna watch TV and play video games. Yeah, tomorrow I'm
Totally
gonna
get
binge
you.
my thing.
You know,
But
it wasn't too long after I'm sorry, I cut you off.
no, go ahead.
Well,
Yeah, my phone needed
what
a
I was just
break.
gonna say is that like it wasn't too long after I got diagnosed and started experiencing this that my mom, who was the person I talked to like every day, started saying, you know, Jocelyn, I'm just tired of hearing this about this. And I was like, what? Really? I was so surprised to hear that. And it wasn't too shortly after that that I found this group. And I'm so grateful for this group. Like, I didn't see, I stopped, I wasn't here for like 3 weeks because of the surgery and recovery. And I am so happy to be back. Like, I look forward to this. I look forward to seeing you guys and talking and mainly listening. Like, this group is great. And you know, like I don't talk about epilepsy with other people, especially after hearing my mom say, "I'm really tired about hearing about epilepsy." Because it's like it was shocking, and I think other people just they really don't know what we go through, and they don't. Some of them don't care. It was really surprising. But what was your initial question? Because I forget what it was.
How do you keep your I don't
Um,
know.
Forget
how do
I
you
didn't.
tell yourself you're more than your epilepsy was the natural thing. It just sucks. I feel like my epilepsy controls me. How do you guys keep your self-esteem up and believe that you are more than your epilepsy?
Well, because
Um,
I was gonna say that it to me like I kind of compare. I mean, it's not comparable, but like someone else said that they have a lot of other things, and like, yeah, I mean, me too. Like, I think we all do. Like, I have depression, I have anxiety, like obesity, like all these other things, and like, it's just one more thing that I have, and we all have, and I just add it to the list, you know? Yeah, I don't know. And as far as self-esteem, like as I've gotten older, my self-esteem has actually gotten better, surprisingly, which I think is great. I like myself a lot more as I've gotten older. So the epilepsy has actually not taken away from my self-esteem, which I think is pretty cool. So that's cool.
This is a little off topic, but does anyone believe in you spend so much time with a person that you just kind of subconsciously crave the same things and do the same things and say the same things like twins almost? Yeah. Yes. No. No one believes that.
I spend a
Like,
lot of time with my cat.
like grow to become that over time, like
Yeah,
a friendship that goes beyond
yeah.
friendship kind of thing.
So like me and my mom, as we know, are not getting along right now, and I just ordered Chick-fil-A. That's what I call it. That's what we call it. I just ordered Chick-fil-A because I was craving it, and I was going to ask her if she wanted anything, call her if she would pick it up. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm not asking my mom for anything. And then she called me and she was like, I'm picking up food from Chick-fil-A. Do you want anything? And I was like, man, I just ordered food. I just DoorDashed it. I just freaking DoorDashed it. Even when we don't get along, we're like the same person. Drives me nuts. She came into the driveway the other day and we had the same song playing at the same time. I'm like,
Was that
what the heck, Mom? Can you please just apologize? Because we're like literal twins. Can you please just apologize to me? But we're stubborn. Both of us are stubborn. Anyways, I
Like
just
mother, like daughter.
wanted to get that off my chest because me and my mom are literally twins. We share the same brain because what are the odds? It's always
I was gonna say like you, I love it when someone like I'd say does me bad and then they need me. It feels so good. It
well,
feels amazing.
just like I love my mom so much. And it's always just been me and my mom, so obviously we're gonna become like best friends because it was literally just me and my mom. No one else. That was my circle and my grandparents. But it's just like sometimes I just can't really fathom the how how the universe works because I'm like, what are the odds that we're playing the same song at the same time? It's playing the same lyric, and you're playing it right as you're pulling in, and we're like mad at each other right now. Well, I'm mad at her, and I know she's mad at me, but somehow we're still
yeah.
on the same like rhythm with each other, which I think is kind of funny because I think that just says that we're both mad at each other. Anyway,
Well, that could be considered synchronicity, two simultaneous events that are happening that appear to have some sort of significance, but are actually just completely unrelated. Um, I mean, depending on your worldview, it could be
I mean, if we were synchronized,
something with some sort of transcendent meaning, but at the same time, it could also be explained by, I mean, you two having the same music taste, having listened to the same sort of music for, years, and living in close proximity to each other, and
I just think it's funny
just
how
a coincidence.
people take
I mean,
traits.
there's a, I don't know if it's considered a saying or not, but once is uh, um, one something once is a I'm forgetting the word now, but something happens once, it's that happens twice, it's a coincidence, and three times it's a pattern. So um I don't know. I feel like it's
In like
kind of
20 years.
a useless little
In
thing that I've
20 years.
just given you, except for just a dictionary definition of some word.
Yeah, I think the world just does little funny things every now and then to try and throw little jabs at me and my mom, or try and remind us that even if we are still upset with each other, that we are cut out of the exact same mold somehow. We were still very, not the exact same mold, but very mother like daughter, daughter like mother, mother like daughter. It just was, I mean, come on, like, if I knew she was gonna pick up, I had a feeling that she wanted Chick-fil-A. I had a gut feeling she wanted Chick-fil-A. And I was gonna ask her, but my pride stood up to me, and then I spent my money ordering Chick-fil-A and accidentally double dashed it. I should have just asked. Oh, I knew it. I should have listened to my gut. If I would have listened to my gut, I would have saved $20, guys. $20. Anyways, that was my spiel.
Yeah. That's why I make sure when I DoorDash stuff, I make sure it's a good amount of stuff. Even like I'm not just getting a pizza, I'm gonna get 2 pizzas because it's gonna cost $10 and $15 just to deliver it. Yeah.
I get like
Make sure.
4 Thai dishes so I can have like food for the week.
Yeah. I Instacart a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, like at least 3 meals. You know, the one and then two leftovers worth of entire meals.
Yeah. I do that. Yeah, I'm gonna order more than what I need because it's gonna be $15 and all that other stuff. I'm gonna make sure that delivery price is worth it. Um, there was something I was gonna say. Oh, yeah, yeah. I guess I was saying I love when people need me that um, didn't necessarily. Yeah, like my dad was telling me I shouldn't do this. Then today he calls me like, man, I need you. I need you to fill out this paperwork, man. My girlfriend left me. I don't have anyone to help me take care of my business. I was like, how bad do you need me? Give me an Uber. But yeah, love it. Feels good. You need me now, and I'm doing something you told me I shouldn't be doing, which is the reason you're not gonna get me. I'll move forward because I'm not gonna edit that out anyway. Someone says, I don't want to be lonely. Hey guys, as you can tell by the title, I'm a lonely guy. All I want is a girlfriend who understands epilepsy, previously had epilepsy, or even has epilepsy, so we can get along. So if you know of a girl who is lonely like me, please, please get them to my inbox. I don't want to be lonely, dude, forever. Oh, hey, I'm an Aussie from the Sunshine Coast. That's an area where I live. Do you think you could find me someone who would like to come where I live? That's a hell of a question.
I didn't realize we were matchmakers now.
Right.
But
I
wait,
do love Australian foods, but I'm in Seattle.
Epilepsy Tinder.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
Sorry, I'm
I
on
think
the East Coast.
And you
I
have
think
to
Em
love large
proposed this
ladies.
idea. We talked about this idea a few weeks ago. Swear to God, we did. Like a grinder version of for epilepsy people or Tinder or grinder. I don't know. I
this
get
One
it
of you
mixed up.
guys have to make the app now.
Yeah, I think that someone else did bring this up, but that'll be dope.
Oh my god,
But you can't sign up unless you have a love for this, well, unless you have it.
that's kind of a silly. I love that question so much.
I go through the comments. One says, I know how you feel. As a guy, I've been single forever, but dated many times, thinking it's what would make me happy. What I've learned from that experience is you have to be happy by yourself before adding someone to your life. Having a girlfriend, even one who understands or has epilepsy, won't suddenly make you complete. You have a feeling of loneliness or depression until you square yourself away. I like that.
That is very true. Because you can't be happy with someone else if you're not happy with yourself completely.
Um,
May I comment further on this person's situation?
Go ahead. Go right
You
ahead.
could- It, I know we have limitations, and but as far as being alone, yeah, I mean, if you need to be secure alone, but at a certain point, it's time to go out and meet people. So there are apps and stuff to do that, but um, you got to sharpen your social skills too. And there's plenty of things to do. I don't. He said Sunshine State, right? Or Sunshine Coast, or
Sunshine Coast.
Sunshine Coast,
It's in Australia.
Australian
oh,
Sunshine
okay, all
Coast.
right, all right. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know how good transportation. I think it's good there. Yeah, just join a club or something, and talk to people or something. I don't know, just yeah, join a club and talk to a girl. Yeah, not that complicated. Can't be that complicated, right? Am I oversimplifying this?
I also feel like you don't have just because you have epilepsy doesn't mean you have to be with someone who also has epilepsy. I don't know
Would
if
be
that's what they
nice.
were trying to say in their thing necessarily, but um, I don't think you have to limit yourself just because you have epilepsy. Like, I agree, like that if the person should be understanding and you should get yourself out there if you're
Mhm.
really feeling lonely, and I'm sure there's some sweet little Aussie ladies.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how they speak, but
I think
um,
they'd be offended.
kangaroo.
You get worse. You get worse.
Okay. Well,
Kangaroo.
they have big animals out there and bugs. I would never move out to Australia. Good for them.
I want to see an ostrich, so I don't know where
You
else
have
to
to
find them.
check your eye out.
They
Some of this.
have emus over there. Ostriches are over in Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also would
There
like to
was
ride a
back
camel.
in like I think it was the 1900s, there was I think an overpopulation crisis of emus. Look up on whatever service you like, the Great Emu War. The Australians ended up, I don't know, I think the Wikipedia article actually said that the emus were victorious, but I mean, they went out into the Australian outback with machine guns and tried to mow down emus, and there were like thousands of them. I think they had become a problem for agriculture in the area. They were causing grain shortages, and they like emus have those gigantic legs. They can jump up and kick. Or I might wait, no. Those are
Oh, it's
kangaroos. They can jump up on with their tail and kick, but emus still have those gigantic claws that they can rip stuff up with. So yeah, the Australian army had to retreat before they had finished killing as many emus as they wanted.
seems like everything's pretty dangerous down there.
That sounds scarier
Yeah,
than a
yeah.
giant emu compared to Bigfoot.
I'm
I would
gonna,
be
I
more.
gotta,
I would most definitely just want to see like I don't I don't know
Well,
why it
there.
makes me laugh so hard just thinking about these soldiers going out there and being like,
That
yeah.
our
sounds
The
target is like
Great
The
30
Emu
birds.
War was a
Just charging
military
at them and then
operation
running
undertaken
away.
by the
Yeah.
Australian Army in
Hysterical.
1932 to address the problem of emus damaging the crops.
Well,
Despite the
It kind of
deployment of
reminds me
soldiers and
about like
machine guns, the
Niger.
emus proved surprisingly resilient and adaptable, ultimately leading to the operation's failure and a public perception that the birds had won.
What? Put that in a video game.
birds have
Yeah.
won.
Oh man, like, put that man, put I mean put that in like Call of Duty or something like that.
Right.
That's That's a
That's so cool. Evil
Hey,
emo.
Jason.
hey Pookie.
We had an icebreaker question, and it was, something you do to make yourself feel better when you feel like shit.
Something what I do to make me feel better when I look like shit. Like I mean, I write songs. I would write songs and then like play guitar.
Oh, nice. Everyone does music. I love music, and I can't play it, so I do the turntable. It's a little easier. Um, yeah, that's awesome, man. We were also talking about radical acceptance a little bit before you came. Um, how do you accept the fact that you have epilepsy? How do you cope? How do you go about knowing this is what's going to happen for the rest of our days?
Um, on like on like so yes like it's like when I think about it, yeah, so like when I think about it, just like, when I think about it, I think like I mean like if it's I think it's like it's not the end of the world. It just I mean like it's just like a learning brick, like from step by step, and you know like you gotta take the like the side causes and the side roads, even though like the whole term is completely fucked, and you know like personally like and personally like you gotta be happy for like you gotta be happy. I mean like you know like not for them but just for you.
Good one. Everyone had good ones. I got something else. It says, I'm going to stay on a rural farm for a month, and I'm scared, but I also don't want to let my epilepsy stop me. I guess I just want some encouragement. I'm going woofing, which is where you live and work on a farm in exchange for housing and food. The farm I'm going to is in a very rural part of Colorado where there is a hospital 25 miles away. My seizures aren't perfectly controlled, but I'm also trying to live my life and remind myself that I very rarely need to go to the hospital from a seizure. The last time I went to the hospital post seizure was in early 2024, and it was because I hit my head. I'm bringing my rescue medication with me, of course. I will educate the people I'm staying with. I'm definitely nervous, but I also feel I can't live in fear forever. I want to do things. I just went 10 weeks without a seizure and had a focal on Monday. But yeah, I don't know. I just love to hear some encouragement, some adventurous things you've done, regardless of your epilepsy diagnosis.
I think everyone should be able to do things that they love as long as it's not putting other people at risk. And living on a farm is not going to risk the people that are there, but I will say that having worked around horses and cows and other types of livestock, and tending to fields and stuff like that, number one, it's extremely hot. Number two, um, you become dehydrated very easily. And number three, if you do have a focal, when you're around an animal that's large enough to hit you, you will not only have to go to the hospital, but you could die. So, um, things to keep in mind, but still, like I said, everyone should be able to do things that they love as long as they're not putting other people at risk. And if these people are okay with like taking you to where you need to go, since we can't drive, then go for it.
So yeah, great advice. Somebody's gonna hear you and go for it. The thing about living on a farm though, 25 miles away from the hospital, I think that's a little much. I mean, not that I go to the
That's
hospital much, but being
well,
that
that's
far
what I
out.
meant, like with the dangers that are there, because yeah, it's not it's not safe. And if you do get hurt, um, you're usually gonna get hurt on the head. And so, yeah, it's not safe.
So
Not the safest method, but
I
yeah.
mean, typically in rural areas like that, or like something where you're farther from the hospital. I forgot the mileage, but they would airlift you, and that would be a pretty penny. But if it was bad enough, they would airlift you. Which, if it has to do with a horse, then getting kicked by a horse is not a small incident at all. Or if you have a seizure and the horse steps on you, you are probably not going to work on the farm anymore. But if you feel confident going to the farm and working there, and you got stuff to keep you balanced and whatnot, then do your thing. I swim. I shouldn't be swimming, but I swim. So I ride a jet ski. Probably shouldn't ride a jet ski either, but I ride a jet ski. And we're not
I
close to the
swam with
hospital.
dolphins.
I swam with dolphins too. Yeah. If you feel like that is your element, then embrace your element. Just make sure that your body can embrace it as well. Because if your body can't embrace it, then you really can't embrace it yourself either. Just make sure you and your body are on the same page.
right, know your body. I say don't stop yourself from doing things. So you'll sit there, you'll think about it too much. Try to do things, know your body. Set precautions for everything you do. Because I don't necessarily stop myself from doing things. I just set some precautions, like going to that concert with all those lasers. I just kind of told the girl next to me, check out my bracelet, explained a little bit to her, got through that, and had no seizures, so it wasn't necessary. But I told her just in case, because she was a little bitty woman. She was not going to be able to help me.
Do you carry a rescue med with you?
No, I don't. No. I'm usually alone, so rescuing myself doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
It's usually too late, or yeah, it's usually just too late.
EMTs usually carry like rescue sprays or yeah.
I got a box of
That's
nasalium sitting right here. I've never used them. I opened them just to show them on the podcast, so maybe 6 weeks ago. Never even seen it before I opened this box.
Yeah.
I never really needed it or was able to get to it. Like I said, I'm alone often, so taking nasalium is going to be kind of hard. I have a seizure in the bathroom, and the nasalium is in the bedroom.
They gave me a pill as a rescue med, Clonopin, which I've taken before for
Yeah.
anxiety. But I was like, what am I? I'm going to carry it in my pocket in a pill thing. So I bought myself a like an old fashioned poison pill locket, because I was like, I'm not going to put it in the screw thing because I'm going to like be all stressed out to get the screw thing open and then I'll have the seizure. So a poison pill thing is a locket that opens and shuts, a snap thing. So went on to Etsy, and there's some really cool ones, but I just got one that like has my birthstone on it, and so it goes on a necklace, and I'm waiting for it to arrive. And then I can just like always have it around my neck. So that's what I.
Just like a little threaded capsule kind of thing.
No, it's not. It's not something that screws open. It opens and shut, just opens and shut, and snaps open and shut.
Oh, clamshell kind
A
of.
clamshell, exactly. Yeah, and they have
Okay.
really cool ones with like skulls and spiders and turtles and stuff. But I just got one, just very simple with a gemstone, like with a garnet. So it's not a garnet is not expensive. So that's what I did. It has to be easy to open, or I'm going to panic and be like, "Wah!" and then like put the whole thing in my mouth and choke on the choke on the necklace. So that's what I did.
Okay. This one, I think maybe we could all help this person and maybe relate to. It says, I love my girlfriend, but I feel bad. I feel like I'm ruining her life. Me and my girlfriend have been together for nearly 5 years now. She's been with me when I've had most of my seizures. She stopped me from falling in the bathroom, breaking my neck, and numerous other instances of things when I'm going through seizures. I owe her my life, probably. I feel bad because I feel like I am wasting her life having to take care of me when my seizures happen. It kills me watching her cry as I come out of seizures. How do you handle it with your partners? That is a rough thing to be in.
Number one, you can't let your own feelings of guilt let you push someone that loves you and is trying to help you away. Because it sounds like she's helped him on numerous occasions, and if she really didn't want to be doing that, I don't think she would continue to. And self-sabotaging is a thing where, you're so afraid of hurting the person that you love that you end up hurting them anyways by pushing them away from you. So, it's important to keep that in mind, to not, like, if you want to have a conversation with her about it, that's a whole different thing. Have a talk with her and, like, talk to her about what she's feeling about the situation and how she may be being affected by this, and does she want to do anything, like, regarding the future. Does she feel comfortable still handling this? That have, like, a grown-up talk about it, but don't think things inside of your head, because that's just going to lead to, your own assumptions and your own personal answers, and then that could end up hurting her. So yeah, have a talk with her.
Yeah. Anybody else? Come on, guys. Gotta have something for this person. Let's see. I gotta sleep. Oh, yeah. About the apologizing thing. I've been through that. Yeah. My son's mom, she just like, stop apologizing. It's something you can't prevent. So on and so on. And she was like, quit apologizing to me. She was like, she always says, I'm not your other kid's mom. I know what I got myself into. You don't have to apologize. It's like, oh man, I love her. But anyhow,
Okay, I'll say something. I build off what Cia said about um, what did you? She said something about letting your own insecurity.
Self-sabotaging with your
Yeah,
guilt. Yeah.
self-sabotaging. Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely done that in the past, and it's really awful. You spend so much time regretting that, and you end up pushing people away, and it's I it's so much better to just open lines of communication. You, it it's the risk reward is just you got so much more to reward than risk. Um, uh, I I think I said that right, but yeah, just try to open lines, keep that open. I can't imagine just just go for that. I mean, instead of talking to us here, talk to her, not us. Yeah.
Rick and Sailor Mom, you guys are married. How's that go? Probably easier than what this person's going through. They sound like child, I'd say, maybe early 20s, but you guys are happily married. What's going on?
I still apologize terribly, and a lot of times I don't remember even the crying and apologizing. I even did it this morning. Yeah, and I have no memory of doing it. And that's like a little bit of a first, kind of, that it started past few weeks. Well, yeah. Uh, but yeah, I would say talk. That's all you got. I mean, you got to communicate. Otherwise, stuff's going to build up and there's going to be assumptions on both of your parts, and you're not going to know what's really, going on. I would, yeah, you need to talk to her. And she's probably going to be, I don't know, kind of emotional and weird about it, but you gotta get her to understand that you care and you want to help. And she doesn't have to feel all that guilt. She's probably still gonna feel it because it's part of the whole thing. But other than that, I agree with everybody. Talk to her. That's all, you can really do.
See, I know you're
Oh,
married,
see, yes.
but
I'm
you kind
just
of
messing with you. I know.
you answered earlier a little bit how you handle it with your husband. So
Hmm.
also, yeah, you want to join in before Rick? You got something else to say?
No, you're good.
All right, Rick, how's the married life? How do you talk to the missus?
Communication is key, regardless of what the situation is or what's going on. So it's no different here. Communicate and communicate often and well. That's pretty much it.
Even if you've been married a long time, there's always assumptions that can build up if you don't communicate.
It's true, and younger people these days don't realize how simple it really can be. They make it more overcomplicated, but it really can just be talk.
Yeah, because 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 honestly, honestly, like for a lot of things like that, like you definitely need to communicate because like if you don't, like they'll actually go like far away, like they'll have to go far away from you, like even miles if they have to, like and and pretty much like and I've dealt with that like I would say at the end of last year and the end of last year and start of 2025. Like what's when I graduated from college, and like like I was severely depressed. Like like after when she was gone because because and I won't say her name, but I'm like like that girl took care of me honestly, and she honestly stood up to my mom. So and like, but the way that we broke up and the way she moved like thousand miles away from me, I kind of feel the effects, and like like and it still burns to this day. So like so definitely communicate and definitely talk to a lot of
Yeah,
people.
a comment here I was looking at. It says you're talking to someone same boat. There was once a time in my apartment when I was alone. I had a tonic clonic while talking to my now wife. I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't been on the phone with her and she called 911. EMS then had to break into my apartment. How do I deal with it? Well, the answer is kind of basic, but reiterate to her now. I just reiterate to her how darn thankful I am to her. I also try to make sure that I am on top of my care as much as possible and that she doesn't feel like she's having to do it for me. I'm sure your wife can get very anxious if you exhibit signs of having a seizure or if she thinks you might be having a seizure. I think showing appreciation, telling your wife how much her support means is not a small thing. Having her know how much you appreciate her and realize how much she does is really important. Someone else said, I think my partner feels guilty, nervous, and I'll be about me being around for his seizures. How was your wife? How has your wife helped you with the guilt? I'd like to be there for him more, but he isn't the type to express his needs. I know some people like that. The person response was, it's not what she's done, it's what she hasn't done. There have never been any snide remarks or careless comments about my condition, only reassurances. She was definitely surprised when I told her that early on in our relationship. I was worried my condition would become too much for her and she would break up with me. It's sometimes that folks with epilepsy and probably folks with other chronic conditions feel because we don't have to be a burden. I think it's actually pretty universal. So if your partner does indeed feel guilty about you or being around you because of your seizures, that may be why. To state it plainly, the feeling goes like this: I'm afraid I'm too much for you and you'll leave me because I'm something I can't control. And it definitely can be hard emotion to admit, verbalize, or talk about. I hope this helps. Was that helpful? Oh. This one says, literally diagnosed this morning. What should I know? While I'm not new to chronic medical conditions, I knew this. 31-year-old female, I was diagnosed with epileptic seizures this morning. I'm still in the hospital, so they can try to figure out if I have functional seizures as well. Any advice for someone new to the club? Anything extra specific that I should be prepared for? Is there anyone else here who was diagnosed at a similar age? I'm just kind of looking for a community right now.
Come on over.
Everybody, advice for this person. Let's give them one thing out of everybody. Come on, guys. I say prepare for the worst.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't know. It could be the best or it could be the worst. But I would also say make sure that you're going to get an EMU so that they know exactly where it's coming from and what caused it in the first place and everything. Everything. Yeah.
This was posted 5 minutes ago. So, yeah.
Find a
You're
community
diagnosed.
of
And these
support.
days, Chat GPT helps, people say.
Find a
But,
community of support. This community has helped. My neighbors have helped because I can't drive. They go get my prescriptions.
oh, nice.
It's amazing.
Right. It sounds amazing.
It's amazing.
Sometimes it's hard to get people in your house to go get medication. But we'll stick to something else and not talk about that because I'm not going to edit it out anyway. But yeah, you guys, let's give this person one thing that you guys think they should be ready for.
Prepare for side effects of medications because you don't know what it's going to be. And some will be very bad.
Rick?
I say always remember to be patient with yourself because it's going to be a journey. It's not going to be a fun journey. There's going to be a lot of testing. There's going to be a lot of medications to try out that may make you feel worse, that may not help, and you're going to have dosage changes and medication changes. So get a lot of rest and be patient with yourself.
Kevin?
Suppose going into this, always, like they say, everyone's said, be your own advocate. Make sure you do your research. Yeah. Always know what you're getting into. Um, Rick said it's going to be a journey, so um, perhaps I don't know what your diagnosis will be, but going along through pills and such, just be prepared for that whirly dervish of pills, I suppose. Yeah, and I can't reinforce this enough. Always do the research, and but take your doctor's advice, and but also know what you're getting into. So yeah,
Yeah.
be prepared.
Always advocate for yourself, even if you're taking your doctor's advice.
Right.
That's, you know.
Yeah, it's got to be a good combination, a good healthy combination.
I changed mine. I think everybody, first thing I should have done in the beginning, which would have helped me, is finding a support system. Because I probably would have been to this point 10 years ago if I had a better support system. Yeah.
It was so much harder in the 90s, though. We didn't know anyone to go to. There was
Yeah.
no epilepsy centers and stuff. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Still don't have a support system, but still. Wish I had this one 10 years ago.
Still a long way to go.
Yeah, support system is important. Because not coming to terms with myself made me want to do other things to myself. So if I had that support system and I wasn't there alone, that might not have happened. But Mark, you got any advice for a first timer? Oh shit.
I'm sorry, first time.
This person was diagnosed this morning. Just anything you could tell this person. Give them one
Right.
tip that we
Oh,
haven't given them.
I mean, just diagnosed right this morning.
Mhm.
First thing, the advice I would give to them, like in the immediate moment, is don't freak out right now. It's going to be a process. Um, it's yeah, I don't know who was it that said I don't know what their diagnosis will be, but it's yeah, it's it sounds scary uh coming out of the doctor's mouth, like right there. But it's living with it, you know, tomorrow's not going to be too different from today. And the day after that is not going to be too different from today. Um, it's going to be a step-by-step process. Take it day by day, and don't freak out right now. There's
Yeah.
plenty of time to freak out in the future.
Gonna get worse before it gets better, I always say. But it is gonna get better. Not fast, but it's gonna get way worse before it gets better. Who has not? Who has not gave this person some sound advice yet? Jocelyn?
Well, I said like find a community of support, but I also think like manage stress, like that's about the not freaking out and stuff, you know. Like I know for me, stress is a huge trigger. I had a breakthrough seizure because of all this 24 hours of really stress, but like, so find ways to not freak out and manage stress, I guess. That might be a lame one, but
Jason, see ya. You guys got some advice for this person? Just one thing.
I think they're away. I think Theo said she was away.
Oh, Jason's there, it seems.
Mm. What was the question again?
Somebody just got epilepsy this morning. They're just asking for some advice.
Man. So take like don't go too fast. I would say don't go too fast, but take it slow. Like but take it slow and take procedures and always listen to the doctor. But I mean, but actually, don't take the doctor's advice, like just in case if it happens.
Yeah. I think I should have got second opinions when I was younger. That should have been a thing. But I was a child. So
Yeah.
don't always listen to these doctors. Sometimes you gotta do your own research. Okay. I was hoping this day would never come. The neuro says my epilepsy is intractable. The only thing we can do about it is an RNS or surgical excision. Before I was diagnosed, I never thought I'd have to make a decision like this, but I am here. Having to decide between living with uncontrollable seizures, getting part of my brain removed, or having a medical device placed inside my skull. It sucks. And I don't know what to do. I could use some advice or hear some of your experiences with surgeries or with the RNS. Kevin, you got some advice? I'm sorry to single you out. You're
No,
the
it's
first
cool.
person I thought about.
Always cool. Always cool. Did this person say the RNS or VNS?
They said with surgery or RNS.
Okay.
Would a VNS be considered both surgery and?
Sure. Well, yeah, I'll give advice on the VNS. It's a perfectly simple surgery, very simple. I forget how long. I don't even remember if I might. Yeah, I think I stayed overnight, and you'll be out within a few days. If you do stay. Um, you can look up the detail. I don't feel like explaining it, but the actual surgery is extremely simple. It's one device here in the chest, one in the neck. Um, Swipe a magnet. Now show the magnet. You got right here. Swipe the magnet across there like that, and it activates that in the neck along the vagus nerve. So that's extremely simple. Um, and it worked for me. 6.5 years seizure free. And should I bring up anything else about this? Anyone that this person would not need to know?
No, you pretty said it all, Chet.
Okay, well, I just want to emphasize again, you have to have the battery replaced about every 5 years. So, and that's even simpler. That's outpatient. You'll be out by the end of the day. You'll be out. They'll kick you out of the hospital with ice cream and everything. So you'll be good. It's really not that complicated.
Anybody had any surgeries? I don't think anyone here has. Any advice for this person or procedures or this person's deep down in the dumps, it seems. They were hoping the day would never come.
Look, technically, mine is called intractable, okay? And it's also medicine resistant, and yeah, they don't even know if they did surgery, it would be exploratory to see if they could use an RNS, a VNS, or sectioning, whatever. They don't really even know because it's what it is. So I understand, right? You just feel like, well, what am I supposed to do now then? Like, pills forever that don't work, right? But, you get you do the best you can. You got to advocate for yourself. If a particular medication is really, really horrible and it's just makes you feel awful, then you just have to say, no, I can't take that one. We got to find a different one, or we got to find a different combo. Or you have to go ahead and have the exploratory surgery. I'm sorry. Like, that's it, kind of. But 5 years with it. And I think we just hit me breaking having my last longest before breakthrough just a few days ago. So I understand, but that doesn't mean that we're giving up, right? Gotta keep going. At least they don't say SUDEP is like your highest thing you're gonna do. So yay, you gotta find the things you love about your life, the things that make you passionate, give joy, even if there's all the cruddy stuff sometimes too, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
One
I mean,
thing. Go ahead, Kevin.
honestly, at my age, I'm more worried about having a heart attack than SUDEP. So it does not. What I know that seems like a weird way to look at it. It just doesn't worry me. And
I didn't even know that Suda was a thing until y'all started talking about it. I had no idea that was a thing until like the first time I got on here, and I was like, I had to look it up. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that I could do that. How cool.
So that's what happened just last night before, I think. I completely, and it was
But
even worse than the original first time I did it. Oh my gosh.
so
Anyway,
is
I'm
that
sorry.
when you stop breathing altogether?
Yes. You
Yeah.
basically you slow down and you start foaming at the mouth, and you're not sucking any air in. It's only coming out again and again and again. And eventually
And
you can start getting
there's
brain damage.
the rescue medication to reverse that
Well,
It's like
yes, if it
that.
works.
if it works.
But I've had one that was like 45 minutes long, and he gave me
Oh my
3
God.
or 4. I mean, he gave me pills and nasally and whatever.
That is a blessing that you're alive.
And my doctor said it was way too much, really, that he shouldn't never do that much again. So, so we haven't done that again.
Okay, it's all right.
No, because I had to,
Yeah.
of course, tell my doctor about it. Like, hey, of course, that ended up, with an ER visit. That happens sometimes. Luckily,
Thankfully, I've never had anything remotely similar to that. But
yeah. I mean, it's not very common, and I've had a lot of really mean comments on like the regular epilepsy subreddit when I said something about it, because they're like, well, if you had said it, then you would not be here. And I'm like,
yeah, well,
they can bring you back.
Million.
Yes, I stopped breathing completely, but they didn't bury me yet.
There's people that die during surgery, and that doesn't mean that they're dead just because they died during surgery, or they flatline. Just because you flatline doesn't mean that you're dead.
Right.
Like,
They bring you back.
Unless you have been dead for a certain amount of time,
and I wouldn't.
Nothing that they can do to bring you back, then you're dead. But I
wouldn't necessarily have said it if it wasn't like right at the top of my chart, like every time. Very high risk of SUDEP. I'm sorry, but that just makes me go like, I think I do suffer from it Maybe it hasn't killed me yet.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you just have you have more severe
I just have
like
a reason why it happens because of where it
seizures.
is in your
Yeah.
brain. Yeah.
Yeah, your brain just like cuts off.
Yeah. Traumatic brain injuries. Fun stuff.
Well,
Anyway, I'll be quiet now.
That's interesting that yours is from a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, when I was less than 6 weeks old, somehow my skull right behind my ear here, all the way from the top right down, was cracked into an iron crib and broke my skull. And actually, my brain actually goes in there. It actually has an like indent where it never grew, and it took like 4 MRI technicians to find it, specialists to
That would
find
make
actual.
sense why yours are very too deppy.
Yeah, and traumatic, like every time you're just like yeah. But they didn't like really start till I was 44. So like this lady who said she didn't get, like she just got it at 31. Yeah, you know, I had that injury my whole life, but
you just die and you don't come back. I don't know that you can come back. Cool.
Well, kind of.
Can I break in? I don't have what you guys have, but I'm 47, and turns out I have I have a birth defect where my skull base did not form properly and close. So there was a hole in my skull my entire life. And at 47, I had the brain poking through and a CSF leak. And until 47, now I had Alice in Wonderland syndrome at 10. And so who knows if that was like part of this. But it's amazing that we can have these things wrong with our brain and our skulls and they don't show up until
What's interesting is I sucked the life out of my mom during her pregnancy. Like I took every single inch of nutrients that she had. And I came out big and healthy and crying. They had to induce her into labor, and I was a C-section baby because I tried to come out the other end because I am the shit. But I was like a healthy baby. Like I was pretty healthy. I only had like a little breathing problem where it was kind of like a little asthma that I used a little like nebulizer for when I was younger that I remember doing treatments for, but other than that, it was never like other than like the migraines, the consistent migraines and the vomiting for no reason, and the fact that I was a lot more pale than the rest of my family. Like my veins have always shown through. I've always had very popped out veins. I've always been very like my family's always said I'm see-through. But
like
I look a
maybe
lot
like anemia, something.
yeah, I have anemia and
Yeah.
it's been bad recently. I don't know why. But I I I look a lot like my great grandmother, my grandma would say. Um with I just look very much like her, I guess, and she had very bad migraines for days on end, and I'm sure with the migraines came cyclic vomiting syndrome for her too. But as for the epilepsy and the myoclonic epilepsy, I have no idea like where that produced from. I'm because no one on my mom's side has it, so I'm assuming it has to be on my sperm donor side. But
Have you had an EMU stay where they've like done like sleep deprived,
Yeah,
study and
we
all of that stuff, and they couldn't figure out where it was coming from?
well, no, I just don't know like where. Well, they know what I have, but we don't know like why.
Okay.
There's no
What
like,
caused it?
yeah, like if it's genetic or if it's.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's genetic because of the myoclonic.
Because it, yeah, and because of your
I
your
could
great grandmother. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have
point
some.
genetic, but I have no idea. I also was very stressed out as a child, like extreme stress. So I don't know if maybe the amount of stress and strain on my brain and growing up, that amount of strain happening throughout my brain developing, I think, and I always stand by this, stress will kill you. And stress will torture you. Stress is such a big torturer of the human being. And even if you don't, like, I didn't want to be in stressful situations, but I was just in it growing up. So I think part of that too, maybe, is what progressed. I'm sure I was born with the epilepsy, but I think it just kind of made it worse in my head. I just feel like it made it worse.
Isn't there some studies that say, you know, if every time you have a seizure, even if it's an aura, you're burning pathways that make it easier to
Yeah,
breathe through the next one. Isn't that,
think
anybody
about
agree with me
it,
here? Anybody ever heard that? Okay, because I've
think
heard that
about it
before too.
like a whippet.
Yeah,
Like
it's like
when
when
you do a whippet, you're killing brain cells.
well,
You
of
know,
course.
you can only do it for a
Yes.
second, but you're cutting off
That's
all
not
connection to your brain.
exactly true.
And
The whippets,
it's not
whippets are nitrous oxide. That's the same as laughing gas. The it's solvents, inhaling solvents like glue and paint thinner and stuff where
cleaning material.
it's the damage to the brain cells itself that causes the psychoactive effects. That's a different category from whippets. Just a point of
what?
clarification, sorry.
Whippets and nitrous. If you're taking
Nitrous
whippet,
oxide is laughing gas.
no. So whippets in California, when I went to California, whippets, as it's referred to, you get it, the big canister. And it's what you fill up with a balloon. It's what you would fill balloons up with.
That's
They,
helium.
yeah, but they also have a like laughing gas as well and whatnot. But when you do it, it's cutting off airway to your brain, and if you do too much of it,
No, the
yeah,
laughing gas
people's
the laughing gas
lips turn
attaches to
blue.
the NMDA receptors in your brain. It's a dissociative. It's this dissociatives. The NMDA receptor is the same receptor that is associated with the ketamine high, the K-hole. It's not causing brain damage unless you like inhale so much of it that you're
Yes, when you go to the store and you buy a canister this big, not whipped cream, not a whipped cream canister, a huge canister of what you would fill up like balloons with and stuff, and then you take that in and then you close it back up and you hold it in, it is cutting off airway to your brain and killing brain cells by doing that, and you are getting high while doing that.
no.
But
I mean, you're getting high while doing it, but the
kills
oxygen deprivation is
takes
not
too
the
much of
same
it,
thing.
people turn
The
blue because
oxygen
they eliminate
deprivation you
oxygen
could
because
get from like inhaling a canister, like from a canister of CO2. It's not the same thing as what you're describing.
I don't want to say who, somebody in Virginia used to use little ones that they use for paintball guns or that kind of thing, and they would poke the ends and do them. Not me, never ever, but you know, I saw them on the floorboards of their car. They said they were called whippets. I said, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I've seen them before. I've seen some of that big old tank, and yeah, I was just like, that sounds insane to be trying to get high off of smoking air or whatever the case is. Like, yeah, like Lufa said, it's something you put in balloons. Like, what are you doing? Like, who
I
thought
mean, you
you would
could
go
put
get
any
this
gas
far?
into a balloon. That's, what you put into what container you put it into doesn't really matter. It doesn't change what it is and what it's doing. So what the gas you put into balloons isn't really specific at all.
Mm. I
It
thought they
could be
put helium in the
helium.
balloons to make them float.
Yeah, helium balloons are the ones that are lighter than air. I mean, there's people who puncture the whippet canisters and fill, you can take the canisters for whippets. The name you get, or the name whippet, came from the company that makes the whippet, for whipped cream. That at home you mix up your own cream and then you put it into these little canisters, and it has a thing you can get it, the company itself, they manufacture the brand name Whippet. They paint their little cartridges green, and it has in blue Whippet written on the side, their little logo, whip hyphen it with an exclamation. You screw that into the little top thing. If you don't have any whipped cream in it, you can just stick a little balloon onto the end of it and blow all the gas into the balloon and suck it in from the balloon.
I've
So,
heard of that too. Isn't that what they call huffing?
huffing would be, huffing is the street term, the slang for like the glue and the
Or
paint
or
thinner.
or
That's
paint,
that's the
or yeah,
solvents where
it's
you
things
take
that are
like,
really, really bad for your brain.
yeah, that's when you take like something like some paint thinner or something, acetone or something really nasty like that. There's a couple different solvents that are most popular. If you watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Charlie, he's the one, he's always huffing solvents, and he has these little bags. He squirts the, like, what was it, the most, not the newest season, but the one before that, he was and working in a skating rink, and he was behind the counter, and he was the one who was squirting, the disinfectant into the skates, and he squirted that and then sniffed and realized, and that was how he started his whole thing. It was like a flashback episode. Spoiler alert. Ha, sorry. Um, but yeah, the character from that point on has this problem with huffing solvents, and those solvent he's pouring, whatever paint thinners and stuff into these bags, and is always, or just taking a spray paint can and spraying it into the little paper bag and, but that's not a whippet.
Okay. Well, that is very interesting. I
That's
like
huffing.
Yeah,
Street
that's
huffing.
huffing. Yeah.
learning more about drugs.
There's just I
Lufa,
think
how tall are you?
there's just different terminology, I guess, nowadays. I guess where I am, I think there's just different terminology. But yes, long-term use of nitrous oxide and things like that cause brain damage, like memory loss, and
No,
it
nitrous
does cause,
oxide is
yeah,
not
it literally
toxic.
does. It literally does cause brain damage. When you inhale those things, it's causing brain damage. People become slower. They lose. It is cutting off. It is
Oh,
taking a part of your body and filling it with a different kind of air that your body is that's not oxygen. It's cutting oxygen from your brain. That's why people's lips turn.
the atmosphere is mostly
When you when you
nitrogen.
when you take
That's not really a good. I mean,
you're
most of
let me
air
finish.
is
Will
not
you let me
oxygen.
finish?
Actually,
Will you
if
let me
you
finish?
inhale pure oxygen, you're gonna have problems. Are you familiar with that? Did is
You'll
she?
die if you inhale pure oxygen. And
Yeah, yeah. Did she get disconnected?
Yes, very much likely. Um, it was
Sorry.
a tough conversation.
it,
Yeah.
My fault. I should have kept my mouth closed, I guess.
if you inhale anything over pretty much around 36% oxygen in the air, you start to pass out. I
Yeah,
think
you
that's what
need the inert nitrogen in the atmosphere in order to survive. I don't know.
Um,
They had
um,
an aura when we were out. My husband's all freaked out. Sorry. Just gonna throw
Mm,
that.
yeah.
also, you didn't get the icebreaker when you came in. How about that one? What's something you do to make yourself feel better when you feel like shit?
um, um, if I'm steady and like I can trust myself physically, I'll go take a shower. But if I think I might fall down, because I have before in the bathroom, then just, have some THC. I'm not good. I shouldn't lie, right? That's not good. My doctor says it's okay, right? It's not causing anything. It's not hurting anything. And it calms me down and makes me feel better for sure. I don't know. Anything else? Maybe watch TV sometimes, but sometimes that seems overwhelming. Does anybody else have that? I'm just like, I'm a little auraed out and I'm overwhelming. Yeah, I watched Sailor Moon, not that recently, but I do. Definitely. Yeah. I don't know. Anybody else? I don't know what you guys said.
I said, I just find somewhere very peaceful. Most of the time by myself and smoke. Smoking alone feels so much better than smoking with people.
When you
Nice
don't
smoke.
have to make sure that you're like actually,
Like I
what's
don't know
the
how long
word?
I have this. And, yeah.
I'm just scared of being like people won't understand me, right? Because sometimes that happens, right? If I'm having an aura or some gibberish. And can y'all see this? I don't know if y'all could see this. Can y'all see what's happening in my backyard right now here? This is a mama deer and two baby twins walking across
Oh,
my
I see it.
backyard.
I
You
see
see
it.
him? Yeah,
Yeah.
there he goes. Boop, Anyway, my husband put out a giant bin of water for them. So we have 2 or 3 sets of mamas and twins that come by every day for water. So anyway, I'm sorry. I do that too, actually. I lay here in my bed and I can see out my back, and it's all, bushes and stuff because we haven't cut it back yet. And the deer constantly. We have eagles and hawks, and there's a couple of huge wild hares that just run around up there. So that's kind of, oh, and there's a whole bunch of feral cats that the lady next door feeds, and they're all over the place too. So that's kind of fun.
What does intractable mean?
It means they can't. As far as I know, intractable means, I can look it up to be sure, but as far as I know, intractable means that they can't control it. There's no, let me check the exact.
Yeah, I mean, I could have looked it up, but I was like,
No,
let
that's fine.
me get the explanation from someone who has intractable epilepsy.
Yeah, let me just put it in here. All right. Oh. Intractable epilepsy without status epilepticus, with status epilepticus. Wow, they have a lot of it. Okay. Drug resistant or refractory, a condition where seizures continue to occur despite the use of 2 or more appropriately chosen and used anti-seizure medications. These medications used, whether alone or in combination, are unable to achieve sustained seizure freedom. Essentially, it means medication alone is not sufficient to control your seizures. And then you've got your drug-resistant one, which intractable versus refractory means 2 different kinds of epilepsy, but they don't really say what the difference is. Structural brain anomalies are the #1 cause. Brain infections can also cause it. Treatment means epilepsy surgery, vagus nerve stimulation, ketogenic diet, possibly, but it did absolutely nothing for me. I'm sorry. We did it. We really did, but it really didn't help. It actually made my anemia worse for some weird reason. Yeah, it just means it's super seizure persistent, and different medications at different doses just don't do anything. And then it can be more serious if you've got if you have it with where you stop breathing, or if you have it with another kind of seizure too. But essentially it means medication resistant. Yeah. Seizure persistent, drug resistant. 1/3 of people with epilepsy may develop it at some point. That's not cool, is it? I know. Hey, we all hate that. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. Did I say that okay? I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.